Hello, my name is Katie Erickson, and I am an Assistant Director of Admission at American University. I also happen to be an AU alumna. Today, I will be taking you through our information session that we normally offer in our Welcome Center. We'll talk about academics, opportunities for students such as internships and study abroad, and the admissions process. By the time this presentation is over, I hope you all have a great understanding of who we are as an institution, opportunities for things that you can do during your time at AU, what AU can do for you, and also what our application requirements look like. I want to start out by talking about who we are as an institution, and what better way to start than by talking about our history. Throughout this presentation, we have polls to test your knowledge about AU. For this first one, try to guess what year the university was founded. The correct answer is 1893. When the university was chartered back in 1893, our mission was to train future public servants. While we now offer more than 60 different fields of study, that legacy of service is something that is still very important to us today. AU today really prides itself on offering both the individualized instruction of a small liberal arts college, as well as the scholarly resources of a large research university. So you're really getting the best of both worlds. We are recognized for our academic innovation and built upon three defining characteristics. The first is our distinguished faculty. Here at AU, 94% of our faculty members have earned the highest degree possible in their field, and many are actively working in their field outside of academia as well, whether it's for the federal government, one of the Smithsonian museums, a Fortune 500 company, or a local nonprofit organization. And they really enjoy bringing those experiences into the classroom and sharing them with their students. That leads us to our second defining characteristic, which is our active and engaged student body, who seek to make a meaningful impact in the world around them. It's pretty uncommon to come across an AU student who is only taking classes and that's it. Most of our students are involved in extracurricular activities. We have about 200 different student clubs and organizations on campus that they can get involved in. And most also participate in internships, study abroad, and volunteer their time doing community service. So they're not only a part of the AU community, but also the larger Washington, D.C. community as well. And finally, we have our third defining characteristic, which is Washington, D.C., our extended classroom. We really like to utilize the city almost like a laboratory to enhance our students' academic experience. For example, many classes include field trips to different places around the city that are relevant to that subject, and professors often invite guest speakers into the classroom to talk to the students and network with them. So which one of these things appeal to you the most? No matter how you answer, you have all of these things to look forward to if you decide to come to AU. We are committed to graduating critical thinkers who are going to go on to become their experts in their field, tackling the world's most pressing problems, such as enhancing civic engagement, furthering science and technology, and educating children, just to name a few examples. Our focus on problem-based learning is possible because of our student-to-faculty ratio, which is 11:1, and our average class size, which is 23 students. I don't know about you, but most of my high school classes were larger than 23 students, so it was really great coming to college and having small, seminar-style, discussion-based courses. All of our classes are taught by professors, not teaching assistants, and every professor is required to hold office hours every single week. So you know that they are very accessible to you if you have any questions or issues with the course. Just a piece of life advice for you, wherever you end up going to college, do take advantage of your professor's office hours. They really are an amazing resource, not only academically, but also professionally and personally as well. I know many people who have gotten internships, research opportunities, or even full-time jobs through connections from their professors. And the professors do enjoy taking on mentoring roles with their students. So now I want to talk about some of the opportunities of things that you can do during your time here at AU. I want to start by speaking about the AU first year experience. We know that the transition from high school to college can be difficult, so we have a program that takes you through the ins and outs of college life and academics. every incoming AU student will take foundational courses in their first year where they will learn about campus resources, academic skills, life skills like personal finance and budgeting, and also how to navigate social and cultural differences within a community of learners. Those two specific courses are called the American University Experience, or AUX as we like to call it, and Complex Problems. They are all capped at 19 students each and often include guest speakers and outside of the classroom experiences in Washington, D.C. I also want to talk a little bit about how advising works here at AU. But before I do that, it's helpful to have some context. So I want you to guess what you think the national student to advisor ratio is, and then afterwards I'll tell you what it is here at AU. The correct answer to this poll is 300 to 1 as the national average. Here at AU, it is 76 to 1. Our first-year advisors have a guaranteed caseload of fewer than 80 students, and you are guaranteed to see your first-year advisor at least once a week, as they are the instructor for your AUX class, your first semester. Our first-year advisors are not major specific. They are trained on all the different academic areas within AU and are there to help you explore your various interests. After your first year, you will be assigned an academic advisor within the school or college that your specific major is housed in. Students will also interact with peer leaders in their AUX courses and residence halls. At AU, we know that experiential learning helps build more confident and prepared students, and here you will be immersed in these kinds of experiences. Let's talk a little bit about internships. What percentage of AU students do you think completed internship before graduating? Our Career Center works with students to match internships both here and abroad, where you can earn hands-on experiences and practice classroom knowledge in the real world. Our Career Center not only provides general career advising, they also do resume and cover letter workshops, mock interviews, and every single semester they host a job and internship fair where dozens of employers specifically come to campus to recruit AU students to intern for them. And there are a lot of opportunities out there. Another example of experiential learning at AU is study abroad. Did you know that the national average of students who study abroad is around 10%? So how many AU students do you think study abroad? The correct answer for this poll is 70% of our AU undergraduate students study abroad. We offer over 160 different study abroad programs in 50 different countries on all 6 major continents. The great thing about our AU Abroad programs is that as long as you meet the minimum requirements, which is usually above a 2.75 GPA and at least sophomore standing with your class credits, you will be able to study abroad. We have programs for every single one of our majors, and there are typically plenty of spots in those programs for anyone who wishes to go. You can study abroad for a semester, a full year, over the summer, or even on an alternative break. Additionally, your tuition and financial aid stays the same when you study abroad. The only difference might be the cost of living, which can vary based on the type of housing that you have and the country that you're living in. Service is a hallmark of the AU experience as well. AU's commitment to service learning means that you can further your academics by partnering with local organizations to research and find solutions to community issues domestically and internationally. One example is Explore DC, which allows students to get involved in the DC community even before classes begin. The program takes students into different areas of Washington, D.C. to explore issues facing that community. Another example is our community-based research scholars, which brings AU students and service organizations together in Washington, D.C. for year-long partnerships that combine classwork and field research. We'll talk a little bit more about that program later on in the presentation. So now that we've seen some of the opportunities for things that you can do at AU, but what can AU do for you? I want to dive a little bit deeper into our academics. Even though we have 6 undergraduate schools and colleges, it's important to note that our academics are cross-disciplinary, meaning if you get accepted to AU, you get accepted to the university as a whole, not just to your intended major or school. It is very easy to switch majors across schools, double major between two schools, or major in one and minor in another. We only require students to declare a major at the end of their sophomore year, giving you the time and flexibility to explore your interests. We do have a core curriculum that is a requirement for all students to complete. The goal of the AU Core is to teach students intellectual habits that reinforce lifelong learning and to be critical thinkers in our global community. Habits of Mind courses focus on asking and answering questions through a range of academic approaches. Diverse Experiences courses examine issues such as power, privilege, and inequality. We do have a capstone requirement as well, which can vary by major, but it is usually a senior project, research paper, or portfolio. From ethical reasoning to information literacy, AU students gain valuable context about the world we live in through the core. Now I want to do a brief overview of each of the different schools and colleges. To learn more about individual majors, I would recommend looking at the web page for each specific school. We'll start by talking about our College of Arts and Sciences, which is our largest school in terms of number of majors and number of students. It includes 4 academic areas: the natural sciences and mathematics, arts, humanities, and social sciences, as well as undecided majors. We are always looking to add new and exciting academic programs here at AU. So do you want to take a guess at which 2 majors are the newest majors in the College of Arts and Sciences? The College of Arts and Sciences is also home to AU's pre-med program. Here at AU, pre-med is not a major, it is a pre-professional advising track, where students have the flexibility of choosing their exact major while still having the resources of pre-med advising. The most popular major for pre-med students is biology, but you could also study chemistry, neuroscience, public health, psychology, or really anything that you want. An impressive 80% of our graduates from this program have been accepted into medical school. Students interested in public health also have the option to pursue an accelerated 3-year bachelor's degree as a public health scholar. Our 3-year scholars programs are accelerated bachelor's degrees that have the same requirements as a normal 4-year degree, just completed in 3 years. Students do stay over the summers and take classes then as well, so they are year-round programs. These 3-year programs are really designed for students who know exactly what they want to study. They want to get in and finish their degree as soon as they can and move on to grad school, the workforce, the Peace Corps, or whatever it is that they'd like to do. Keep in mind that a separate supplemental application is required for these programs. We do have 2 other 3-year programs that I will highlight when we get to those other schools in a few minutes. I also want to note that for students interested in engineering, AU offers a dual degree program with Columbia University in New York. Students completing this program will start out at AU taking foundational courses, then end up at Columbia taking more traditional engineering courses, and graduate with 2 bachelor's degrees from both universities. Next, we'll talk about our Kogod School of Business, which ranks as one of the top 25 best schools for earning an undergraduate degree in business by Fortune Magazine and Money.com. Kogod has their own Office of Career Engagement and Center for Business Communications that help AU students build skills in data analytics, public speaking, and business writing. If you have an idea to start your own business, we also have an entrepreneurship incubator, which helps any AU student with an idea build a successful for-profit or nonprofit venture under the supervision of faculty and outside mentors. I like to think of it as AU's own Shark Tank. And you do not have to be a business major to use the incubator. It is open to anyone. So, how many ventures do you think the Entrepreneurship Incubator has helped fund? The correct answer is 8. I would encourage you to check out the AU Center for Innovation to learn more about the incubator. Next, we'll talk about our School of Communication, where it's all about media and messaging. SOC provides unparalleled opportunities for undergraduate students to explore the entire spectrum of communication. It's important to note that SOC majors are required to double major or minor outside of the school. The philosophy behind that is that SOC will teach you how to communicate, but they want you to have another area of expertise to communicate about. For example, both of our film and media arts majors and our journalism majors are ranked in the top 10 programs in the country. So clearly they're doing something right. So which awards do you think our SOC faculty have won? Like all of our faculty members here at AAU, the SOC faculty are experts in their field, so the correct answer is all of the above. Our faculty have won Academy Awards, Emmys, Pulitzer Prizes, as well as Google, MacArthur, and Fulbright fellowships. SOC students work with state-of-the-art equipment as well in the studio and in the field, which is preparing them for jobs at top media organizations after they graduate. Now, let's learn about AU's School of Education. Here, coursework is designed to ensure that students are ready to make the jump from student to teacher. AU offers degrees in two major areas, elementary education and secondary education. They both include teaching licensure programs, which means students are certified to get a job as a teacher right after they graduate. The School of Education has an impressive 100% placement rate after graduation of students either teaching or enrolled in a graduate program within 6 months of their graduation. Living in Washington, D.C., School of Education students have access to a wide array of education agencies, organizations, and professional associations committed to improving education in the United States and around the world. Next, we'll talk about our School of International Service. Our world is more interconnected than ever before, and AU's School of International Service will prepare you for a globally focused career. SIS is ranked in the top 10 international relations schools in the country and is a top undergraduate program by Foreign Policy magazine. All SIS students major in international studies, which is our most popular major at AU, but within the major, they will customize their degree based on their interests. For example, there are 8 different thematic areas. Students will choose 2 of these thematic areas to be their concentrations within the degree. Those options include foreign policy and national security, justice ethics and human rights, as well as environmental sustainability and global health, and identity, race, gender, and culture. In addition to the 2 thematic concentrations, students will also choose 1 regional specialization out of 6 different regions around the world, and they are also required to study a foreign language through at least the intermediate level. No matter what you decide that you want to do with your degree, our School of International Service prepares its students for a career in government, nonprofits, or business. One of the other really cool opportunities of being here in Washington, D.C. is that we get to bring a lot of prominent guest speakers to our campus. So out of these people, which person do you think has not spoken on campus in SIS? The correct answer for this poll is Margaret Thatcher. The other 3 have spoken on campus. For students interested in East Asian studies within international studies, we offer our Sakura Scholars Program, a joint degree with Ritsumeikan University in Kyoto, Japan, where students spend 2 years at AU and 2 years in Japan and graduate with 1 joint degree from both universities. SIS also offers a 3-year program called Global Scholars for international studies majors, just like that public health program that I mentioned earlier. And last but not least, we have our School of Public Affairs, where students examine political issues from all angles. SPA offers 6 majors, including Justice and Law, Legal Studies, Political Science, which is our 2nd most popular major at AU, CLEG, which is an interdisciplinary degree unique to AU that combines communication, legal institutions, economics, and government, and our 2 new majors, Data Sciences for Political Science and Data Sciences for Justice, Law, and Criminology, which are both Bachelor of Science degrees. We also have a 3-year program in this school called the Politics, Policy, and Law Scholars Program, where students can choose to major in either CLEG or legal studies and graduate in 3 years. SPA students take advantage of a wealth of opportunities being here in the nation's capital. Examples include internships in the federal government and beyond, the SPA Leadership Program, the award-winning mock trial and debate teams, and 11 different research centers and institutes housed in the School of Public Affairs. I also want to note that all of AAU's schools and colleges offer what we call accelerated pathway programs. These programs allow students to complete both a bachelor's and a master's degree in less time and with fewer credits. Now, I know it feels very early to be thinking about a master's degree, but don't be stressed. This is something that you would choose to pursue around your junior year of college. For students who know they want to pursue master's level work in their field, these programs are a wonderful opportunity. Students typically graduate with both degrees in about 5 to 5.5 years, and we currently offer more than 60 different accelerated pathway programs throughout the university. Whatever your path may be, AU is an inclusive community that connects you with classmates, faculty mentors, and opportunities in the nation's capital and across the globe. Living learning communities are small groups of students who live and explore a common interest or academic pursuit together. Here are some of our options. Academically talented students can apply to join AU's prestigious University Honors Program or our Frederick Douglass Distinguished Scholars Program. Each year, a small cohort of exceptionally talented students is invited to join the AU Honors Program, and 5 students are chosen for the Frederick Douglass Distinguished Scholars Program, which is a full scholarship to the university. Both of these programs require a special supplemental application. In their first year, community-based research scholar students engage in research that informs solutions for pressing community problems. This program also requires a special supplemental application. Admitted students who are not in one of these other living learning communities may choose to join University College, AU's largest living learning community. University College helps students take advantage of the limitless opportunities in DC with the best elements of college life: meeting new people, residence hall living, studying with top-notch professors, and finding your passion. UC is an opt-in program, so there is no special application required. And if you do have any questions about anything that I am discussing today, I would highly recommend contacting your admissions representative, and they would be happy to give you more information. So now that we've talked about AU student life and academics, let's go over what our application process looks like. American University accepts the Common Application and the Coalition Application. Both applications also require a $75 application fee or approved fee waiver. We have 3 admissions deadlines for freshman applicants, and you choose which one is best for you. Our Early Decision 1 deadline is November 15th, Early Decision 2 is January 15th, and Regular Decision is also January 15th. Please keep in mind that if you are planning on applying to one of our special academic programs that I have been discussing, such as the Honors Program or a 3-year program, the priority deadline to apply is December 15th. So you should try to have not only your regular Common App or Coalition app completed and submitted, but also the special supplemental application for that program, all submitted by December 15th. If AU is your first choice, maybe consider applying Early Decision. You're probably familiar with Early Decision by now, but just in case you're not, just so you are aware, you are only allowed to apply to one school Early Decision because when you apply ED, you sign a binding agreement that if you get accepted, you are going to attend that school and withdraw all other college applications. You sign that binding agreement, a parent signs it, and your school counselor signs it as well. The great advantage to applying ED is that you do get to find out your admissions decision much earlier. If you apply ED1, you'll receive your admissions decision by the end of December. Our ED2 deadline also requires a binding agreement. The only difference between ED1 and ED2 is the deadline because not everybody's ready to apply by November. So that's why we have that ED2 deadline as well. If you apply ED2, you will be notified of your admissions decision by February 15th, and regular decision applicants can expect their admissions decision typically in late March, no later than April 1st. We do not do rolling admissions for freshman applicants. Everyone finds out at the same time as the rest of their applicant pool. So why apply Early Decision? Here are just a few reasons why someone might choose to apply ED, but I do want to emphasize that it should be your top choice school. So now that you know our deadlines, here are all the materials that you need to submit with your application. So in addition to the completed application, you need the $75 application fee or an approved fee waiver. We need an official high school transcript. Your GPA serves as the main indicator of your school performance and future academic success. We accept both weighted and unweighted GPAs, so typically, however your school calculates it should be fine. We also do look at your first semester senior year courses and in some cases grades, so make sure that you continue to challenge yourself. The secondary school report is submitted to us by your guidance counselor and is basically a profile about your high school that gives us some useful context for your transcript. So we can see what you're doing in comparison to what your school offers. So if your school has rigorous courses such as AP, IB, honors, dual enrollment, etc., we like to see that you're challenging yourself and taking some of those courses. But we also understand that not every high school offers the same types of classes, so we're only comparing you against what is available to you, not you against students who come from very different high schools from yours. As for test scores, we take your highest standardized test scores from each section of the SAT, also known as super scoring, or your highest composite score from the ACT. So keep in mind that we super score the SAT, but we do not super score the ACT. We also do not look at the essay portions of either exam, only the regular sections. It's important to note that we do offer a test optional program. This is open to all applicants who do not wish to submit standardized test scores as a part of their application. My advice for those of you who are considering applying test optional is to ask yourself the question, do you feel like your test scores are representative of who you are as a student? If the answer is no, then test optional might be a good plan for you. Test optional applicants are just going to have the rest of their application considered a little bit more closely because we don't have the test scores available, but the admission rate is the same. In regards to the personal essay, I have two pieces of advice. First, proofread carefully. It might sound obvious, but every year we receive essays that have spelling and grammatical errors, as well as ones that have the wrong university name in them, which is awkward. Secondly, I encourage you to write with passion. I think that some people make the mistake of writing about something that they think the admissions committee wants to hear versus something that they genuinely care about. It comes out in your writing when you're truly passionate about something, and the essay is one of the best ways that we get to know you in your application. We also have an AU supplement, which allows you to explain why you're interested in AU. It is optional. However, my professional opinion is that you should do the supplement. It's shorter than the essay, but it really gives you the chance to show that extra bit of initiative and tell us more about why you think AU might be a good fit for you. For letters of recommendation, we require two, one from a counselor and one from a teacher who knows you well. As for the resume or activity report, we want to hear about your life outside of the classroom. We look for demonstrated commitment and leadership in your extracurricular activities. We also consider your employment and volunteering history. To summarize, what we're looking for in an AU student are people who are active and involved in their school and community, who are motivated to challenge themselves in the classroom, and who are looking to become part of an open, inclusive community in college. We want students who aren't afraid to tackle some of the world's most pressing challenges. While our review is holistic, here is a look at our most recent admitted class by the numbers for the middle 50 percentile averages for GPA and test score. Keep in mind that these are middle 50 percentile averages, so it's not a comprehensive scale of our entire class. There are always people above and below these numbers as well. And I'll also show you the middle 50% profile for University Honors Program students as well. Once we are done reviewing your application, what happens next? There are 4 different decision types that you might receive. The first is admission to AU for the fall, which is what I'm sure you're all hoping for. We do also admit some students to AU for the spring semester with the option to participate in the mentorship program in the fall. Students who participate in the mentorship program begin in the fall as non-degree students and then matriculate in the spring as degree-seeking students. The mentorship program has two options: an on-campus program that includes an internship in DC, or mentorship in England, which is a first semester study abroad experience. The next decision type is waitlist. If space becomes available in the fall class and you have signed up to remain on the waitlist, we will notify you over the summer if we're able to offer you admission. But we do suggest that you deposit at another institution to make sure you've secured a spot somewhere for the fall, because not everybody makes it off of the wait list. The last option is deny. I wish that we could accept everyone, but unfortunately we do have to deny admission to many students each year. If this happens and you have your heart set on attending AU, we encourage you to consider transferring after at least 1 year at another institution. Now let's talk about financial aid here at AU. When it comes to scholarships, AU has a robust offering of merit-based aid for qualified students. The answer to this poll is true. All applicants to American University are automatically considered for merit aid based on their academic achievements. With the exception of the Frederick Douglass Distinguished Scholars Program and the United Methodist Scholarship, there are no separate scholarship applications needed. Students admitted into the honors program will also receive a merit scholarship ranging in monetary value. About 30% of our accepted students are offered merit scholarships each year, so they are pretty competitive. If you are offered a scholarship, they range in value, usually between $8,000 and $24,000 a year, and they are renewable for all 4 years of college, as long as you maintain at least a 3.2 GPA and remain a full-time student. If you are looking to apply for need-based financial aid, you'll need to submit the FAFSA and the CSS profile documents. The FAFSA is required for federal aid consideration, and AU requires you to submit the CSS profile to be considered for institutional need-based aid. Both the FAFSA and the CSS profile must be received at the same time as your admissions application. Please do not wait to be admitted before filing these documents. You will be notified about your financial aid and scholarships with your acceptance to the university, so there is no waiting period. Now, let's break down the need-based financial aid process. To calculate the need-based aid package for each student, we look at an equation. We take the cost of attendance to come to AU, which includes tuition, room and board, books, fees. Then we look at the expected family contribution. Factors include income, assets, and family size. The expected family contribution is calculated from the data you provide from the FAFSA and CSS profile. Demonstrated need is defined as the difference between the cost of attendance and the expected family contribution. If you have any specific questions about need-based aid at AU, please contact your financial aid counselor directly. Their contact information can be found on our website, and they would be happy to answer your questions. We do know that college is an investment, and here at AU, we measure our success as an institution by the success of our graduates. For example, within 6 months of graduating, 92% of AU's most recent graduating class was either employed in grad school or both, and 88% of working in a role directly related to their field of study. They are working for organizations like Deloitte, the State Department, ABC News, the National Institute of Health, and countless others across the business, nonprofit, and government sectors. Another measure of our success are the prestigious awards our students win every year to continue on in graduate studies. If you would like to see these specific outcome statistics for students in your major, I would highly recommend checking out our We Know Success website at american.edu/WeKnowSuccess. There you can see the employment rate, salaries, top internships, top study abroad programs, and more for students that are specifically within your major, which is very helpful. Our offerings are designed to ensure that our graduates have the tools necessary to excel in their chosen field and make a meaningful impact in the world around them. I hope that maybe we can count you amongst them soon. Well, that's pretty much it for the formal presentation. I do want to leave you with one last piece of advice, and that is to stay connected to the AU admissions office moving forward. We assign admissions representatives based on geographic territory for freshman applicants and by last name for transfer applicants. So please contact your admissions representative if you have any other questions or concerns. All of our contact information is available on our website. Thanks so much for tuning in.